Hey guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are doing great. Yeah, today we're going to be doing this here, Thor's hammer. Maybe do some bit of sculpting and see how things will go. Yeah, so we can start by doing this shape. Shouldn't be that hard. Yeah, so let's start with the default cube. Let's get the shape. I think I can use a mirror modifier here for this side. Bevel this. Something like that. Something like that. Hello Muhammad bin Arus, how are you doing? And G Laker, would you make garden scenes? Yeah, I guess I could do that, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try and see next time. I think I'm going to add symmetry here as well. Course media, your flow is good, and I've watched most of your work, and honestly everyone does things differently, but I've gleaned some good workflow. Oh, thank you. Something like this. Okay, because I think this is a bit just going to make them straight here. Then tunnel clipping, and that should give us that shape. Yes, save this and thors hammer. I like the hammer idea. It's simple and complex. Yeah, because of this we would have to sculpt in these details here, I think. Okay, so let's see, what else do we need to do? We need to insert these areas here, so let's need to add maybe a loop around there, a loop around there, and a loop around there. Then extrude that just a bit like that. You can do the same here. Then do that. I was wondering how you would do the details. Yeah, I'll have to sculpting, not paint sculpting, but you can use some images as brushes at painting those details. Then let's add in this here. Okay, I need to have a reference image for the other side. So this looks like that. Okay, this image is not saving for some reason. It has to be a JPEG. Alright, can I just screenshot it? Just save it on the desktop. Then bring it in. Okay, so we need to add in these details, but we need to apply the mirror first, because I only need these details on one side, so I bring back the mirror for the other side. Now this here, I think this bottom side also can be done using the mirror. Right now I'm not worried about the polygon count because we're going to sculpt this anyways, so okay, we have that. Now we just have to add in this detail there, so we can do that later. Now let's see, adding this ring here. So I think I can use this edge loop here. Or maybe not. Wait, let's just add another edge loop here. Make sure it's straight. Like that. Can even bevel it. Okay, we need to add in this extra detail. So around here, this pushes into there. Maybe not that far. Don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe to support the channel, and ask any questions if you have any. Yeah, thank you for subscribing, Julian Toma. Thank you. So I think this line has to be smaller than this, so I'm going to extend it, bring it closer. So it should come right around there, then extend like that. Then, so we can bevel this, like that. I'm going to reduce my clipping start here, and now we can extrude, push that in like that. And I think this cuts in quite deep. So I can select these edges here, push that way in like that. Now I just need to work out how to make these polygons flow nicely. So I think we don't need, let me first make sure that we don't have any doubles. So I think we can get rid of this edge loop here. Okay, so maybe this could be merged to that. So we have something like that. I want to make sure that I have those smaller details already baked in before we go to the next stage, which I think we are ready to do right about now. And yeah, so I can apply this mirror and not sure what that notification, where that notification is coming from. Okay, so let's make this. I'm just going to bevel this, Ctrl Shift B. Bevel the edge. That. Now let's extrude the handle. I think it becomes a bit larger on the end here, so let's do the same like that. Then this part here, we first round off these edges a bit. Grab this face, Shift D to duplicate it, scale it up, do something like this. I think I can separate this into its own object so that I can. What was the setting to make the bevel? Yeah, that's a setting in the bevel profile. It's the profile itself. So here, just going to, you can add in a few extra edge loops here, and okay, I don't know what I did, but I shouldn't be like this. It should be something that. You can grab these vertices, turn on proportional editing, make sure we have this set to connected. And if you don't want this to be these other vertices to be influenced, just hide them. Now we just need to find the right profile here. Let's try this. Maybe let's just go with this. Yes, it's this profile here, profile setting. It controls the roundness of your bevel. I think we need a few subdivisions here. Then you can extrude this. Have something like that. All these details, we'll add them using this using sculpting, so I'm not worried about those. I just need these to be a bit straighter. It shouldn't have been influenced by. Also have this cutout, so we can add that. Do the same here. Hello, Joe Hassan. How is everything? Okay, put that out like that. Now adding in these, whatever they are. I think we can use these edge loops themselves. Shift D and then P to separate them. But they have this wavy pattern, so you can add that pattern by just selecting some of the vertices here make sure you turn on proportional editing. Just grab them like that. Then for this here, I don't want it to be that sharp, so I'm just going to select it again. Just make sure to deselect any vertices that shouldn't be selected. I think I'm okay with that. Let me just then we can extrude them just a bit like that to give them some thickness, and then you can use Alt S to extrude, to push them out just a bit so that they're on the surface. Now we can use the solidify modifier to give them some thickness. Just like that. In some areas they're going inside the mesh, so I'm just going to use Alt S to push them out, and in some areas you can see they're above the surface, so Alt S to push them back. Like so. Hello, Juro. How is everything? Yes, we're going to smash it. Let's see. Yeah, we don't. These details don't have to be. Are not on this side. Okay, I think we made a mistake here. This is supposed to be on this side. This handle here is supposed to be on this side, but that's okay. You just need to bevel this edge. Well, so then this handle we should not extend to the entire hammer. Actually, what we can do is just select everything from there, and then some more like that. Separate. We don't even have to separate it. Let me just move my cursor there. Hit Y to separate, to split, and then mirror like that. I'm going to do the same for these. Mirror like that. Now we have this gap, which should be this side. So we're going to scale it up. Bring back my 3D cursor, my pivot point to the center. Scale this on the X and Z plane like that. Okay, this has to protrude out a bit further like that. Fill this in. Yeah, I'm not sure what this notification is for. And I shouldn't be clicking on things like that on live streams, but okay, so then what else? Yeah, I think that's it. I just need to have this connect directly to this. So I'm just going to extrude this. Then bridge those edge loops. Okay, So they don't seem to match exactly. So let's investigate why. It seems we have less polygons on this side, on the circle, but that's okay. That is okay. Now I think for the modeling part, we're done mostly with that. Maybe except let's make this, I don't know how to call it. So for that, I'm just going to use a curve object. Make sure this is using automatic. Just like that. And we're going to use, now we don't need a plane. I could just use this exactly as it is, but no, let's use a plane. Just cursor selected, origin 3D cursor. Scale this on the x-axis and on the y. Add in a few edge loops like that. Add a curve object, a curve modifier. Okay, so this should be this there. Scale this like so. That. You just need to give it some solidify modifier or thickness like that. Then auto smooth as well. I'm going to change the angle here to about 45 like so. Make sure to leave a like if you're new here and subscribe. It helps me get other tutorials out there and grow the channel. That way I can continue doing these tutorials for you guys. Let's see. If you use Alt C, you can close the curve loop, and now we can move this to where we want, around something like that. But I want it to twist in some areas, so I can go to the curve editor, and now there are twist options here, so I can use those. So it twists around here like that in different areas, just to give it that organic feel. Maybe the thickness is a bit too much, so just reduce that, and we have that. Now what I'm going to do is save a backup copy of this, so that we can start adding in these details here. I'm just also going to have this in a new folder, so we can start sculpting this. And I want to retain, I'm going to apply the solidify. You know what, let me first not do that. Let's see, since we already made a backup copy, I'm going to apply the solidify modifier and this as well, so that I can join this into a single object that we can easily sculpt. Okay, now since this is a new object, as I can also duplicate this again. Have this one is going to be our low polygon version, and another one is going to be our high polygon version. And I'm going to use the multi-resolution option. Now maybe before I even do that, we can add a bevel modifier just to round off some of those corners. And let's see. I think what we're going to use the bevel weight option, so that we dictate where the bevel is going to be. No, actually let's just use angle, because I'm saying it's rounding off areas quite nicely. You know what, let's just use weight, because some areas need to have a higher bevel. So let's select an edge like that, and then Shift G, face angle, and so that gets most of the high angles like that, except on this handle we don't want any bevel just yet. Then you can use Control E, bevel weight, Control E, bevel weight, and that should round off those corners. I think we're getting the same results as the bevel angle as well. Maybe what we can do is separate some of this. First, separate this main mesh, which still has the handle attached to it, so I'm just going to separate this as well. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on here. I think we're getting the same result, so let's just have things. The handle doesn't expand near the bottom. It is a cylinder. It's a solid cylinder. George Ibrahim. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, you mean here? It doesn't expand here. Yeah, you know, I thought it would look better with that expanding. And I've already done that, so it would be hard to go back in and fix it. I'm just going to go with that. We don't have to match things, get it to match exactly as it should be. And after adding that, I'm just going to bevel, so apply the bevel, and then bring in the it's called the multi-resolution modifier. Change this to simple and subdivide this a few times. Okay, this could cause a few issues because of the bevel I've just applied, so I think we shouldn't do that. So let's just use the multi-resolution here, subdivide a few times so that we can start sculpting. So I'm going to go to the sculpt mode and see how things look. Okay, we have a few issues. I'm not sure why that's it, why they exist. Okay, we have this artifact, which I'm not sure what is causing it, so let's examine a bit and see. Let's first look at our normals, recalculate normals, and I'll make sure that nothing is overlapping. Okay, we still have this. Okay, and I think it's because we have a large end gun somewhere. So, okay, so let's first reduce the size of this end gun by just doing this. I think it should reduce on that effect. Okay, so we still have a few issues in different areas. Like there. Let's see if we have any other issues in different areas. Okay. So I think what I can do here to get rid of that issue, just need to fix the polygon flow. So I'm just going to insert this and then see how that affects. Okay, seems to have made it even worse. And so let's just continue reducing the size of that end gun. By adding more subdivisions. Or instead of using the multi-resolution modifier, which I think is causing a lot of issues, let's just try sculpting using the dynamic topology. Let's go to sculpt, then turn on dyno topo. Okay, and let's do a flood fill. I think it's supposed to be under constant detail. Okay, we just need, let's try 610. That's still very low. 30, still very low. Let's try 64. Still low, but I'm afraid if I make it any further than that, yeah, I won't be able to even add any details. Let's try 124 and see. Hopefully it doesn't crash. But it's going to take a while to compute that topo, so yeah, actually it didn't take that much, so this is where we are. Now we're going to use a brush for this area, so let's go to the texture, new texture. I can find some height maps to use here. Let's try let's first go with that and see. see. Okay. Okay, there seems to be a bug here. If you undo, things just disappear. Sculpt. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. My mesh is nowhere. You know what? Okay, I can't see what I'm sculpting anymore, so let's try a different approach. That's why I made this backup copy. So again, let's make another backup copy so that we can try again. This time let's do again use dynamic topology, but let's not do a flat fill. Let's just do subdivision collapse. Okay, you can see when we're painting, we are painting in that detail, but we need more details, so let's try 256. That seems to be enough, but let's try brush detail. And I'm going to use, for the brush here, I'm going to change to stencil so that I can see what I'm drawing. Let's just see. Okay. I think our strength is a bit high. Okay, now subdivisions are still too low, but yeah, we're not going to get that crisp resolution without crashing the computer. So, and also our pattern is not that thin to capture that kind of detail. So let's go. I want to reduce the strength just a bit. Started drawing in that detail, move to a different spot. I think I need to make this a bit more clear in some areas. Can you use to mask avoid sculpting undesired areas? You can do that, but I don't mind this. I think they are adding some good detail there. I'm going to rotate this. You can use control and then right mouse drag to rotate. I think I can have this around there. Something like that. Again, unless you have those kind of brushes, yeah, we're not going to get the exact detail. Okay, so we have that. Now let's do this on this side here. This time, let me just try a different texture here. That's easy to use. Let's try this. I'm going to rotate this. I think for this we can, instead of using the stencil, let's use tiled, and the stroke we're just going to use line. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to align this. I think I need to rotate it. Is it? We'll go back to the 6. Supposed to be line. Okay, now I'm not sure what happened here. This is obviously a bug, and I'm not sure what's happening. Okay. Does anyone know what is going on? Why this is happening here? Why parts of the mesh just disappear? Because I don't really know. Okay, so I think turning on Dino and turning it off brings back the mesh. In case you're wondering, so let's try this again. No, I don't think it's a must, because when I turned on Dino, the Dino option, it switched back on. I need to rotate this texture. So let's go to settings here. And rotate it and go 90 degrees. Let's see. You're joking. Yeah. I thought you were being serious about that. Let's see. Draw this here. I need to offset, but instead of doing that, just going to use stencil here, so that I'm drawing exactly what I'm saying. So I'll just start from there. Let me change my brush from stroke to airbrush, because I think this is a faster process than just going back and tweaking things. Obviously, some of this is not going to align correctly, but I'm okay with that. Okay, that's some of that detail is popping out too much than other areas. But yeah, again, I'm okay with that. Let's rotate this here again. It looks good. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know what I can use for these writings here, because I don't have anything circular like that. So I'm not sure what to use. Let's turn off the mirror for a second. I think in most areas things don't look too bad. Oh, except here we need to sculpt this detail here for this handle, and we're going to use the same style. So let's get a texture to use here. Let's grab that. Again, we can use a stencil. So the scale seems to be a bit off on the X. Now this is too flowery. It doesn't look like what Thor would handle, what Thor would have. So let's see. Let's try something like this here. Okay, those details are getting pushed in instead of pushed out. I think because I used minus here and I'm using the wrong brush. I just undo this. I just use this smooth brush to smoothen those details out. Now with the right brush you can paint them back in, but I don't like how this we have a sharp edge there, so let me change this to something different again. This time let's use this here. It looks more as guardian. Okay, want to have the same thing over this side. So this is what we have. Now the next part would be to bake this detail into a normal map, but I'm not going to do that. Let me just go back to the other thing, to the other version we had, so that I can work on the texture here, and I'll do the baking after, because baking takes a bit of time to do. So let's just work on the material here. I think I can use the bevel here. So this is metallic. You can get some scratches. Connect that to the roughness, but we need to UV unwrap this first. But I don't have time for that. I'm just going to use box mapping. And let me find some scratches, more scratches here, that we can mix into the grunge map. Something like this. So let's use a math node here to blend the two. So I can use multiply, then just duplicate here. So we have something like that. And we can use also this to blend other colors, so we can use this as a factor here. Let's turn on some ambient occlusion. Now if you're in cycles, let's first add in some environment texture here for the reflections. If you're in cycles, what you can do, you can use the I think it's called under geometry. Where is that? Geometry. You can use the pointness map, which is not available in Eevee, to add some scratches. So to add some edge wear, but it works better with if you're using cycles. If you are in cycles, music stops playing. Yeah, I think that's a problem with that. Cycle uses a lot of CPU power, so I think I'm also seeing that my stream is frozen. So it seems my stream freezes when I'm in cycles, so I don't know, yeah, I'll have to do that part in a time lapse, because yeah, my PC can handle using cycles at the same time as I'm texturing. But if you use cycles, you can easily create these wear areas. These one out areas are using the pointness map. So you can see it gives you those one out areas, but you also need your mesh to be subdivided better. So you might want to add a multi-resolution modifier. I'll have to do that off stream because your cycles can't handle. My computer can handle cycles while I'm streaming as well. So I'll have that in a time lapse and I'll post that later. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream here. And if you want to watch the rest of the process, I'll just have to upload the other. Yeah, it seems the stream is freezing every time I go to cycles, so I can't do anything here. Anyway, thank you for being around. Thank you for the support. Leave a like as you go out, and maybe even subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'll see you in the next stream tomorrow. But yeah, thank you. We also did a live stream in the morning my time. If you were not around, we created this Avengers Stark tower. Let me just show you how that came out. And I think it didn't come out too bad. Let me just show you a bit how it looked compared to the reference images we are looking at, which I can't find. I think I removed them. Let me see. Yeah, so this was the reference image we are using, and this is what we usually do in the live stream if you are not around. And we created the Stark or Avengers Tower, and I think it came out nice. So yeah, you can go back and watch that stream if you're interested in that. And if you want the project files, you can get them over my Patreon page or my CG Trader page. But yeah, and before this, in the previous stream, we created the, what was it? The Avenger, yeah, this Eric Carrier from Avengers as well, using the same reference images. Again, all these project files will be available to my Patreons. And before that as well, we created the Iron Man lab. Hopefully it doesn't hang here. We didn't create the entire lab, but we created most of it, at least half of it. And what I like most